Kom med Jake Paul, kom med Jake Paul, kom med Jake Paul. Så siger jeg, om det skriver. Der er ikke noget skrevet. Jeg er lige kommet, skulle lige hente computer. Så er vi på igen, fam. Vi er på, vi er live. Det er sgu hyggeligt. Jeg har været i praktik i dag. Så det er altid noget. Jeg skal bare lige ordne ting her. Send det til min farm. Du ved, på min Discord server Pjuske hop. Kom med Jake Paul! 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 Ej, jeg lavede det til en sang i dag. Bare sådan en rigtig YouTube-sang. Bare sådan helt ud af det blå. Kom med Jake Paul! Kom med Jake Paul! Kom med Jake Paul! You do this like me. Hey, call me Jake Paul. Call me Jake Paul. Call me Jake Paul. Hey. Skal vi se, holde øje med streamen. Ny. Det skal jeg se.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, in this entire manga has ever Son Goku, as bad as the god of destruction, Beerus. Beerus has basically adopted the Saiyans as his own playthings for an entire decade. To put that in perspective, imagine if Master Roshi was introduced in the first chapter of Dragon Ball.
Hvorfor sidder du inde ude i skuret?
Jeg
tror bare det er en dårlig vane. Det er det værste ved det. Jeg tror bare det er en dårlig vane. Som jeg skal af med, ikke? Det er bare hyggeligt. Altså der er sofa. Jeg kan også sidde der. Men det er bare en vane. Også fordi, ellers så skal jeg være i køkkenet. For i mit værelse synes jeg ikke der er plads nok. Og fordi min far er syg, så jeg kan ikke være i stuen. Og jeg gider ikke være i køkkenet. Vi kan også gå i min mors værelse. Skal vi gå i min mors værelse? Jeg vil lige se den her video færdig. Jeg er ret færdig. Vi kan...
Has done in Dragon Ball Super.
Regards to its
actual run in real
time.
10 whole years of Beerus being above Goku. With all of us recently learning that even to this day, in 2024, Beerus is still stronger than Goku. At least in the Dragon Ball Super manga. This space cat has overall done some pretty ridiculous things, and it's about time we went over just how absurd he actually is, once and for all. For being hyped up as being a 10, if God Goku is a 6, sweating at seeing Kaioken Blue in Universe 6, to now just being above the guy who can one-tap their true instinct forms, that could basically destroy Kaioken Blue with just their auras alone. This cat is getting moved along, but it doesn't only change how we interpret Beerus.
Jeg ser bare en af mine yndlings Dragon Ball YouTube, ikke? Selvfølgelig har jeg YouTube, jeg ser. Jeg ser også selv YouTube, ikke? Men jeg har en yndlings Dragon Ball YouTube, ikke? Selvfølgelig ser jeg også andet anime content, ikke? Men jeg har lige set med den video, det er nok det bedste video for mig i det. Det er nok den video, jeg har brug for hele mit liv. Jeg skal lige se her, hvad jeg ser. Jeg ser den her video. Er du gal, mand? Det varmer mit hjerte, fam. Det varmer mit hjerte. Shit, mand. Jeg har et spørgsmål. Vi har en video i dag, eller vi skal vente til i morgen. Og jeg skal sende en video til min editor, og der kommer en smoke sess Q&A. Det er et highlight fra min stream. Jeg ved ikke, hvor god den bliver, men så får I noget. Så får I via video i den her uge. Så kan jeg starte pause. Var du på 19 sidst? Hvad mener du? 19 sidst? Altså fam, jeg har kunnet mærke abstinenser, men jeg ved noget, det hedder, det er ikke noget der, ved du der, lol, ja, jeg var på lol, skulle lige op til video, Hvorfor? Er du venner med mig på LOL, eller kunne du se det på Discord? Jeg er stadig på LOL. Jeg er lige... Hallo fam, se her! Se her, se her, se her, se her. Level fucking 34. Hey. Vi har nogle mønter. Der skal vi... Hvad det hedder? Skal vi lige købe en mand? Skal vi lige købe noget? Lad os købe en champion. Var du på vej? Var du på vej striber? Altså minder du om, at jeg tager en bane? Nej, det har jeg ikke. Jeg tror bare, jeg har meget energi lige nu. Da du spillede. No, I get you. Altså, jeg tror stadig, jeg har lidt i min næse. Det kan jeg godt mærke nogle gange. Det er det værste ved det. I din video. Nå, der er spillet? Ja, det var jeg. Fam, jeg forstår godt, at det skal være kodesprog, ikke? Men jeg tror ikke, der skal så meget noget af YouTube. Jeg kan altid godkende det. Men fam, hvad siger I? Vil du da fortælle? Altså, det er egentlig fordi... Altså, det var egentlig fordi, at jeg vandt gamet, og så har jeg, og så kommer der en til, hvor jeg også er på striber, i det næste game. Den video der, det er en ny Coke LOL video. Vi har den i dag, i morgen, eller sådan noget der. Hvornår vi har den? Altså, det er det samme klip, vil jeg bare lige sige, ikke? Men jeg er på jeg spiller stadigvæk. Og vi får et W, fam. Vi får et W. Her den her gang kan I se W'et. Men også fordi, det er egentlig fordi, at jeg var vildt fokuseret. Det kan jeg huske, jeg var vildt fokuseret. Hvor mange baner tog du? Altså, jeg tog kun 2 stykker, måske den dag. Men det er fordi mig og nogle kammerater, vi havde samlet sammen. Vi købte ikke i Slagelse. Vi købte i Køge. Og så så splicede vi til 3 gram, og så har vi bare lavet mange baner. Godnat, hopper i seng. Det er bare i orden. Klokken er kun 4. Shit. Så jeg har ikke talt, hvor mange baner jeg har taget, men vi har taget lige mange. Så det var egentlig hyggeligt. Det var en hyggelig weekend. Og jeg er lidt ikke, men det der content. Der kommer 2 videoer ud af det. Og så vi snakker om, vi havde ideen, at jeg skal have en tatovering. Det bliver godt. Jeg glæder mig. Jeg skal have en her. Godnat, hopper i seng. Skal vi høre noget musik? Shit! Så burde du også gå i seng. I left the party with the Barbie. Jeg har ikke nogen bøtte lige nu, så jeg bruger ikke snus lige nu. Lige nu så klar. Lige nu så overlever jeg bare. Jeg har, hvad det hedder. Dags. Hvad så, Old Sika? I waited for my chance, but we don't dance. Beating cars. Nothing but pain. Being in my pants. It's not for romance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh baby, I wanna dance again. Yeah, I wanna dance again. I wanna dance again. Pretty baby, ooh. Cam, jeg tror vi rammer, hvis jeg bliver ved med at grinde sådan her, så rammer vi 1500. Hey! Take it like this. Stars in the sky. I look until you find it. I'm just so bad it's working. I'm yearning, I'm searching. The after party was you got to know there's somebody else with me first. But on my radar, I'd rather look to clear. It'll take away my chance. We'll play but we don't dance. Speeding cars when I need a break. She took my heart, with nothing but pain. This beat in my pants, it's not for romance. I wanna stay but play but we don't dance. I'm dance again. Baby, I wanna dance again. Yeah, I wanna dance again. Baby, ooh. Hey, nice.
But many other characters get dragged alongside him. I also think there are many new things to go over you will find interesting. So sit back and learn some as usual. $75 million years ago, Beerus was a terribly powerful and evil entity. According to the Old Kai, Beerus feared his ability to draw out the strength of others to their limits, such as we saw in the case of Ultimate Gohan. There is immediately some contention with young Beerus versus Majin Buu from the get-go. Were gods of destruction just that much weaker in the past? Not exactly. Old Kai here is more than likely simply stating Beerus isn't as evil as Buu, which is a given, considering he didn't just slaughter the old Kai like a wild animal and force a new Kai to be made. But Beerus really displays his god status here for a few reasons, even 75 million years ago. To remind a lot of you who may be rusty on Kai lore, Beerus is the one who sealed the old Kai into the Z-Sword. The very same sword which the Kais for millions upon millions of years could not destroy, and it eventually got to the point that they could not even take it out of the ground. Via this simple action, Beerus was essentially passively soloing a pantheon of gods that could destroy Frieza and the androids in one tap while taking a nap. The Supreme Kai, who came begging for Goku's help against Majin Buu, he would absolutely annihilate basically all previous villains previously shown in Dragon Ball Z for the peak of the Cell Saga. It also makes it interesting because it means they could not even wield its weight, despite being able to casually toss around the hardest material in the universe. But for those who like to scale the Buu Saga specifically, this is good scaling for the actual Supreme Kai's world itself, because it means the area surrounding the Z-Sword was so durable that individuals who were almost on the verge of reaching solar system buster tiers of strength couldn't even get it out of the spot it was dug into, with Shin, the current Supreme Kai, being confirmed to be as strong as Mastered Super Saiyan Goku from the Cell games and El Manga Legendario, and being generally considered one of the weaker Supreme Kai candidates or Supreme Kais that were around before Pure Boo went on a rampage. All of this is impressive because it means it's possible every single spot of this planet is harder to destroy than a large star, with Majin Buu and Goku warping and eviscerating it casually during their fight. No wonder they said this place was durable. Why Beerus would seal the old Kai is still a mystery, because it doesn't really add up when you think about his character. Beerus is scared of guys growing too strong. Doesn't seem like the Beerus we know of today. But 75 million years ago, Beerus may have been more worried about his position than he is now. If he were a destruction candidate, it'd mean he wouldn't want anybody to threaten said ability to become the full-fledged god of destruction. And if he were, it's possible that because he wasn't so bored from being massively overpowered, such things bothered him more. In my opinion, though, I think Beerus did it to tuck his personal Supreme Kai away for safekeeping, as that is his basically only weakness. Who was realistically going to break him out? It's like putting a few extra locks on your front door, knowing you'll be sleeping for a million years. It's also possible that the old Kai genuinely annoyed him, seeing him as evil even though he is god of destruction. But even more interesting would be that he is saving him for later, possibly for a specific purpose. Especially with the old Kai on the verge of dying of old age soon, right before he is sealed. Maybe old Kai was just gassing himself up, which wouldn't be out of the ordinary, when considering Akira Toriyama's writing. However, what do you guys think? Let me know down below. 75 million years later, Beerus is at the absolute peak of his boredom, with a sword of his casual creation scaling higher than pretty much anyone in his own universe. But he wants a fight. So, Beerus looks for the legendary Super Saiyan God, which is a little ironic considering just a while ago he ordered Frieza to destroy the Saiyans entirely. But perhaps this was to draw this entity out of hiding rather than his actual disgust with their people. As far as we're concerned, Beerus didn't exactly have specific bad interactions with most of the Saiyans. After all, he spared Frieza, the terror of the universe, who is honestly much worse than the Saiyans ever were, at least in terms of character. With Beerus being incredibly lazy and nonchalant, allowing his universe to sink to the second worst quality in the multiverse. This starts to make you question Beerus's higher motives, manipulative tendencies, and theories of that sort. But I'll save all of that for later. Either that, or maybe it really was because King Vegeta took the softest pillow in the universe. But maybe both are true. Beerus takes a nap for around 4 whole decades after this to wait for the prophecy from the Oracle Fish to come true. He comes to learn that a Super Saiyan defeated Frieza from his angel attendant Whis, who immediately checks for him upon waking up. Afterwards, Whis travels across the universe with Beerus in tow, around the length of an anime episode. But Beerus actually thinks this speed is slow. This is somewhat backed up later with other characters such as Gas and Jiren being able to actually fly through the universe, with Gas reaching a considerable distance that instant transmission itself can't immediately reach due to range in around 20 minutes. Instant transmission's range can seem to travel all the way from Earth to the afterlife, New Namek, and even to the Kaioshin planets. So, Beerus actually probably does think Whis traveling the universe in 20 minutes being slow is genuine. If you wanted, he'd likely be able to do it much faster. We see further examples of this as well, with Champa blipping out of the universe to the Supreme Kai planet in an instant, and Beerus actually going to fetch Whis in another galaxy in probably a matter of seconds when he gets tired of waiting for him, when Whis gets distracted by the inhabitants of said planet. All of this is while these gods are heavily suppressed. I'll get more into his scaling against Gas and Jiren later, but for now, just know that it is well within his range to actually replicate these showings. Eventually, he reaches King Kai's world and challenges Super Saiyan 3 Goku to a fight after toying with Goku and his other transformations. He immediately mocks Goku for not being strong enough to defeat Frieza when he meets him, despite knowing he can turn Super Saiyan, a form once seen as a mere myth, and could easily one-shot Frieza at this point. Arguably in base form, going by the anime, Goku would decimate Frieza, which is just proof of him already having manipulative tendencies from the get-go. This is of course based on the Pikkon filler, where base Goku is relative to weighted Pikkon, who could one-shot Super Perfect Cell, who is stronger than ever. Goku foreshadows Ultra Instinct in this fight, which impresses Beerus, so Beerus spares him after flicking him away and one-tapping him. which doesn't seem in character for such an evil entity that the old Kai said might destroy the universe if he's bothered in the slightest. From this, he learns there are more Saiyans on Earth and decides to go there, certain at this point that Goku is not the one he's looking for. Or so he thinks. With Goku revealing that not even Vegito could stand up to Beerus, even as a Super Saiyan 3, with Super Vegito being the strongest in the universe, even after becoming a literal ball of chocolate during the Buu Saga. This gets objectively confirmed later, which I'll go over. With Vegito as a simple Super Saiyan 1, able to overpower someone that could create a distortion in space as large as the entire living universe itself, and then destroy it. One of the earliest showings of character in Dragon Ball actually threatening the universe. During this, Beerus easily handles Gohan, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, Piccolo, and Rotunda Buu. In fact, he doesn't even comment on their strength at all, which if you think about it for a second, is rather weird, considering how much he is gassing Frieza to Goku to egg him on. With all of these guys at Bulma's party actually being able to easily obliterate Frieza if they wanted to. Maybe you could also say that Beerus can't really tell the difference between someone like Frieza and these guys, because they're just in such a small portion of his strength that they all kind of seem the same to him. Think about it. The gap between Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Frieza might actually be less than the gap between Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Beerus, which is actually utterly insane. Beerus even reveals he has a unique aura similar to how spiritual pressure in Bleach is depicted, where he can essentially make Vegeta crumble to his knees with just his presence alone. Beerus' aura is actually a very downplayed aspect of him, as we see with less confident and honestly weaker gods of destruction such as Sidra, able to expand his aura and annihilate entire cities with just it alone. This Hawkeye aura will completely erase him from existence, possibly on a narrative level, which I'll get into during the Goku Black section of this video. As he approaches, he angers Vegeta by striking Bulma after she slaps him for ruining her party. And Beerus slapping Bulma is actually impressive because it means a guy who can vaporize the macrocosm into non-existence can suppress himself to such a level that a normal woman can survive a hit from him. This also proves he is not only sparing them, but also testing them. Realistically, why would he normally care about such insignificant beings? In terms of normal woman, Bulma might not be, as she did watch the Universe 6 fight where Vegeta stood in front of a Super Saiyan about to punch him in slow motion and yelled, and did some weird stuff during the Goku Black arc. But in terms of the universe's lore, she's pretty normal. Anyway, right as this happens, Vegeta goes absolutely ballistic, surpassing Super Saiyan 3 Goku as an enraged Super Saiyan 2, while laying a 10-hit combo on Beerus. Afterwards, Beerus states Vegeta made him use 10% of his power, which is a big meme back in the day. And as we all know, at least now, is an outright lie, obviously.
Færdig, jeg var i praktik i dag, ikke? Jeg er færdig, jeg har været færdig længe, så jeg går tidligt her igen, i det hele taget, ikke? Jeg ser, om jeg kan lave en ekstra stream efter den her stream. Jeg ved ikke, at den ikke er jeg ved ikke, at jeg bare så tager en video lige nu, og I kan se en skid. Men jeg skal nok lave en ekstra stream så. Men jeg skal også i praktik. Og det er sådan kl. 4:30 om morgenen. Det er fint nok.
Goku then states he was watching the entire time and has all of them pour energy into him. In certain translations and iterations, Goku is stated to actually become the strongest guy in history in this state, so stronger than Super Vegito, even before becoming Super Saiyan God, but it doesn't actually impress Beerus whatsoever. With Super Saiyan God, Goku makes it clear he had no idea a level of power like this could even exist, and it's so powerful that Goku is actually stumbling over his own speed, and Beerus claims he has fun for the first time in probably thousands to possibly millions of years. But the battle so intense that the mere clashing of punches from these guys could evaporate the multi-layered, infinite macrocosm into utter non-existence. Beerus says he is using 80% and 100% of his power numerous times to gas Goku up and get him to try harder to push past his limits, and Goku at the very end surpasses Super Saiyan God as just a Super Saiyan and his base states respectively, which makes Beerus so impressed he decides to spare the Earth and save him for later. Beerus can clearly see the potential Goku has, which furthers his interest in the beings of Earth. However, based on him sparing even Bulma and some of the weird manipulative tactics he did to reach this point, it was likely never his intent, with him always wanting non-God of destruction rivals for him to throw hands with for ages, literally. However, during this battle, we learn Beerus has his own sort of Super Dragon Fist type power-up move, which is only weirdly attributed to Goku in the games for some reason. Yeah, Beerus could probably do a purple Dragon Fist game creators. He can make Hakai barrages, tap away planets, and overall can easily deduce almost anything Goku is up to as he plays with him. Unlike most of the gods in Dragon Ball, Beerus is genuinely a god made for combat rather than like overseeing people do stuff and not interacting, making him the most competent and overwhelming force to overcome to date. With the overseeing nature of the gods that helped to train Goku, getting him so far to begin with against other mortals and Majin Buu, the god of combat was now his adversary and his ultimate rival. After this, Whis confirms Beerus is lying to all of them how much power he uses, and you'd be surprised about how many people think he was being genuine with those statements. It's not too crazy though, as originally in 2013 Dragon Ball Z movie Battle of Gods, Super Saiyan God was supposed to be a 6, Beerus was a 10, and Whis was a 15 in the author Akira Toriyama's eyes. Then with the 2015 Dragon Ball Z movie Revival of Frieza, and with the now running Dragon Ball Super manga needing Beerus to take a long-standing non-movie role, things sort of had to change, which is why this lying and deceptive narrative was thrown in more. It's quite frankly a more interesting aspect of the character. After this beatdown, it's revealed Vegeta will never reach the level of Beerus, training the way he usually does, and in mere months. He reaches the level of Saiyan Beyond God alongside Goku, with him being able to go Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, or essentially Super Saiyan God with Super Saiyan stacked on top. Even with this 50 times multiplier, as implied in the Tournament of Power during the Kefla fight, and the 2018 Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, Beerus is still way stronger. Whis, however, then drops a pretty stupid line again, saying if they teamed up, they could maybe hold their own against Beerus. This is obviously pretty inaccurate. They stand absolutely no chance against Beerus, even with the prospect of teaming up. The only way this line makes sense is if Whis knows about, say, maybe Potara fusion, which isn't impossible. With that being said, I think it's important to note what Toriyama originally intended for the power scaling of the story versus what happened due to writing choices from the others on the Dragon team. Choices made by Toyotaro, for example, and the multiple writers for the Dragon Ball anime making their own choices. It's a typical case of too many chefs in the kitchen, and Toriyama's original idea was clearly that Goku and Vegeta working together in Super Saiyan Blue could rival Beerus. This is first stated by Whis, as I said, but then we learned in interviews that 2 Super Saiyan Blues were originally supposed to be more than Fusion Zamasu could actually handle, with Vegito Blue actually being Toyotaro's choice to make the arc more exciting. Even after he himself acknowledges it is out of character, it doesn't really make sense. So Vegito Blue, which represents the 2 Saiyans and Super Saiyan Blue working together instead. This is very consistent with that logic, but once again, I'll get into that later. You'll notice from Toriyama's perspective as well that he didn't intend for Goku and Vegeta to actually really get much stronger and to be at their limits while they, say, work on their fighting styles and energy management or whatever. This is why weird lines keep popping up about them not getting much stronger with training, which is a big meme many years ago, such as the time chamber training in Universe 6, why they were at their limits but the new Goku Black wasn't, and why in Dragon Ball Super Hero, Vegeta makes the line that they are at their physical peak or limits, even though it actually makes absolutely no sense with what we've actually seen in the series, because it's more focused on Toriyama's original perspective. Back on topic though, Frieza gets infinitely stronger during his movie and during his arc by training at least in the Dragon Ball Z movie site, and goes golden to rival the new Super Saiyan Blue.
Jeg har idéer. Jeg har idéer til Frizzell. Det skal også være færdigt. Det kommer i næste uge. Det sørger jeg for. Næste uge, mandag næste uge, det skal jeg gøre. Det burde ikke være så svært. Jeg tror jeg slutter den her stream allerede. Det var bare lige en warm-up stream. Jeg laver en længere stream her senere. Så det var egentlig bare det. Vi ses før. Jeg skal lige